Let's talk about Amare. Today I'm going to cover an Amare Masterclass, which is connected to the multi-level marketing company Amare. Duh, I think that's a given. Amare calls themselves the health and wellness company, and they're very closely connected to the happy juice. Happy juice is not necessarily something that you will hear about if you're not connected to MLMs or to the anti-MLM community, but if you are, you have probably heard of the happy juice, which is a mixture of 3 different products, a product that Amare sells, very overpriced, I might add, and it is supposed to help your brain-gut axis. And if you ask the distributors and even the, in my opinion, sketchy creator of these products, it can cure all your ailings. Anything, everything. You have an issue, get the happy juice. I find it rather disgusting that a company calls themselves the mental wellness company, because you can already tell what they're aiming at. And today I'm going to take a look at Amare's Masterclass. Hello, by the way, I'm Christina. Welcome to my channel. I'm glad you're here. Welcome. If you are new, thanks to a lot of people subscribing to this channel, there has been a not unsubstantial channel growth, at least for the size of this channel. So welcome. I'm glad you're here. Thank you to the people who have subscribed a while ago and who tune in regularly and exchange communications in the comment section with other people watching the video or also privately with me. I really appreciate that you're here, and today we're going to talk about Amare. If you hear weird noises, screaming, running, tantrums, that could be my inner self reacting to this masterclass, or it could also be the family living below me. They just returned from their vacation. Their child is really excited. So you choose what you make out of those noises. Apologies if you can hear them. I will try to filter them out as good as possible. There's a lot happening downstairs. Amare's Masterclass is a call that regularly happens on a Monday, and I was really intrigued by this. I had watched some before. They're available on Zoom. They're also available, I think, on their business or on their private Facebook page. But it turns out it's not much to master there, and I find it awkward that they're even calling it masterclass. In the end, what this is, in my opinion, is just an opportunity call or kind of a place where other distributors can direct their potentials to, so their prospects. If you're interested in Amare and a representative, a distributor of the company, they might point you towards that call so that one of the top leaders can advise you on Amare. I will not go through the entire call. I will cut out the beginning. I will cut out the end. I will focus just on the presentation. It is the same presentation they do every single time. I have been on these master classes now a couple of times. It's always the same thing. I had some issues recording this as well, and that's why I want to focus just on the presentation, but I'm not leaving out anything substantial. It is always the same. Hello and welcome to the masterclass. Let me start the Facebook recording. Here is the presentation. Get back to the person who invited you. Thank you. Bye. That is the context. And that is why I'm going to focus on the presentation. One of the top distributors is going to walk us through why Amare is essential, why Amare is beautiful, and why you should join or at least buy the products.
Sort of come from where we are today, and most importantly, where we're going and what it might mean for you. And so we try to do this with a certain time frame in mind, 20 to 25 minutes. And I've set up a little presentation here that I'm going to walk you through, give you all the information, and say thanks for checking us out. So by way of personal introduction, I've been at this industry for 33 years now. I've been very blessed within it. I've got a lot of great friends, a lot of great memories, and some ultimately appreciative of the success that I've had within this business and the experiences that it's provided me, not only here in the United States, but all over the world. So very blessed. I've done it for one reason, and that was to be able to be with my family, that my beautiful wife, Cindy, of 36, 37 years now. My 3 girls, so I'm a girl dad and a boy grandpa. I've got 4 grandsons and counting now. So
this is the person that is leading through Amare's calls a lot. He is the founding wellness partner in Presidential Diamond, and he is the one who's speaking every single time on the masterclass. And he's also the one who speaks on the leadership check-in. That's another regular call Amare has on Saturdays. But he's on these calls all of the time. And what I find weird with this presentation, it's always the same presentation, is that he refers to himself as he. How would you what? If I were to make a presentation for my job, I would refer to myself and not he reached this or that. He joined Amare. He is a wellness partner. It is like le roi. The king has entered the room. But maybe I could do that as well and have an introduction like, hello, welcome to her channel. Could be weird. I just found it odd. It's a weird side note, I get it, but I find it strange. Let's continue.
We're moving in the right direction that way. But anyway, I like to consider myself sort of extremely normal with regards to ultimately having success in this business. And every time I get a chance to be around people, I was like, listen, I believe that if I've been able to have success, I believe that others who apply themselves, who go through this and are a part of this with us, have the opportunity maybe bigger than what they thought possible. And I want to plant that seed with you because oftentimes, when the person is giving the presentation, you're like, well, that's them or whatever. They can do this or they can do that. I'm like, I don't know if there's any special talent, ability, or skill. It's more about want to. It's more about doing what you believe that you want to do and that you feel comfortable doing it and that you stick around long enough to allow the learning curve to kick in. And then you can get pretty good at it as time goes by. So anyway, I want to thank you and congratulate you because somebody thought enough of you to ask you to take a look at Amare and to check this out. Okay. So Amare means to love in Latin.
Somebody wants to make money off of you, either by you purchasing the product or joining the team. That's why you're on this call, not because somebody necessarily loves you.
I've been around since day one. Had a chance to see it from the inception and actually be a part of creating a bunch of this. We sat around and thought about the idea that says, if you could love yourself first, everything else falls into place. And it's really a personal development piece here that we are really excited about. The mission of Amare was to create a holistic mental wellness platform of products, programs, and people all coming together. We wanted to have 5 core values that we needed to stick by and have, over the first 5 or 6 years now, about love, integrity, innovation, service, and humility. Thought we would try to apply those things to the business and to all of our personal lives as well, as far as the people that began Amare at its core. And we decided at that time to put our flag in the ground as the mental wellness company, long before mental wellness became a topic of conversation, right? It was emerging, but it was still pretty early in January of 2018.
I think he kind of debunked his own words before. I consider myself a rather average person when it comes to success in this company. It is not necessarily that you have to have a certain skill set, but rather really what you want to achieve. And I would say I disagree with that. And he kind of proves it in this presentation as well. He joined in 2017. He has spoken about his journey with Amare quite a lot before and also in this presentation. The official launch was in January 2018. So if you're able to join early in the pre-launch phase, if you have a good connection to the company, to the corporate side of the company, then it is more likely that you're successful. So maybe it's not just your want, but maybe it is your ability to join a new MLM that blows up to a certain degree where timing is essential, not your want. And then the core values of Amare are love, eat, pray, poop, guinea pig, or something like this. But now we're about to learn about the global wellness economy, so that might also be one of the core values of the company and not just guinea pigs and butterflies and shepherd dogs. And why does that come into my mind all the time? I would be very suspicious, let's say it like this, about the core values of a company, because economy and the financial aspect is very important also in Amare.
That was pre-pandemic. Then the pandemic happens and mental wellness is everywhere in front of us. In fact, according to the Global Wellness Institute, the global wellness economy is $4.5 trillion today, if you capture everything, growing to $7.5 trillion by 2030. We decided to become the mental wellness company because we believe that mental wellness actually enters into all other conversations about global wellness. And so it's a massive, massive space, and we're going to try to lead it. and allow people to be in front of a wave that's coming. We all can feel it. It comes by different names and different, ideas of what mental wellness is all about. But you can sort of add, we threw a few of them in here, but there's probably thousands of them that you could identify. But for my conversation today, I want to focus in on sort of the work from home, be your own boss, financial wellness side of the equation, and delivering, mood, metabolism, motivation, mental fitness and clarity and energy through the products of Amare to the world. And that creates a financial aspect that is really quite exciting. And Amare has grown like crazy. We started out of the gate. We did about $10 million our first, year or so. And then we doubled that. And then we grew even during the pandemic years. And we doubled that again once we started to liven things back up again as we've jumped out of it. And this year we're projected, I threw this slide together a couple months ago. We're actually projected to do somewhere in the neighborhood of 160, maybe 180. I don't know if we're going to get 200, but it's going to be close. Anyway, we're super excited about where we are today and the opportunity that we have some new friends to be able to take Amare around the globe, and to be able to open in 50 different countries together.
For a company to call themselves the mental wellness company, I find that yikes. It is not, in my opinion, because they really want to carry mental wellness around the world. It is because they want to profit off of the mental wellness wave he was presenting before, and because it's a huge market. And I guess they were lucky. Yeah, they were able to launch before the pandemic, and most MLMs did see a not unsubstantial growth during the pandemic, because people were really, really desperate and were looking for a job because they lost their jobs because of lockdown. They lost their jobs because of fear of leaving their homes. So most MLMs did grow substantially during the pandemic because people were looking for an actual income and kind of got scarred by this. Now, after the pandemic, most people also left. At least that is true for a lot of MLMs who I believe have hit their saturation before the pandemic. And the growth chart might sound impressive, it might look great, but let's put this into the perspective of multi-level marketing. Why do companies grow that fast? If numbers are correct, I would argue because you sell to actual retail customers. That is unlikely, in my opinion. What is that growth attributed to? Very likely to the distributors. You cannot compare the growth of a multi-level marketing company to the growth of a retail company. They're pretty much built, when you build your business on retail sales, for a longer period of time to be successful in the long run. And MLMs, they will blow up in the beginning. Lots of people join in the hopes to rise in the ranks rather quickly. That's why you need to join early. And then they will also leave when that wave dies down. So the growth chart might look impressive, but let's not forget, this is a recruitment-based business. It's not based on actual sales. Somebody pointed out the multi-level marketing company Kiani to me. They're very much focused on blueberry stuff and how their antioxidants can save you, can save your life. They're also connected to Amare. They're a part of the Amare company, and that is why you will see those as well on the presentation. I will include Kiani in some of the upcoming videos as well, because lots of people were pointing out the ridiculousness of that company, and now knowing that they're connected to Amare, I am not surprised anymore. So be on the lookout for some of the next MLM top fails. Kiani might be a part of that.
And to be able to open in 50 different countries together. And it means everything when it applies to you and what you might be looking for. All right. It's happening for all of us that are involved. But I got to remember that if you're looking at this for the very first time, there are probably 5 things that you need to know about if you're ever going to start one of these businesses. At least this is what I've learned over my 3 decades in this industry. You better have these 5 things. Timing, right? A company that has an executive staff that knows what they're doing and is well positioned. They've got a systematic approach to growth. They've got to have great products. Obviously, today's world is so much more educated than ever before in this industry. And so you got to have great products that are in demand and wanted, compensation that's fair, balanced, and yet dynamic enough to allow people to have their dreams, or allow them to chase their dreams if in fact they so want to. And then a culture that aligns with you that allows you to do the best you can on a daily basis to have success. And I think as we go through the Amare checklist here, you're going to look at it and go, wow, you guys got it, this, and this. So I'm going to try to do that for you. I used to call it a home-based business, but today it's so much easier to just, call it a phone-based business. It really doesn't matter where you are. You can operate, your business from the comfort of your own phone, basically, no matter where you are. So it's really super cool. And we've got it all set up for you. So let me pop through a couple of things. First of all, the Amare team, I would put this team up against anybody I've ever worked with, and I've worked with some great people over my career. I've been very blessed in this area, but man, this is as strong of a team, executive wise, as you're going to find in the industry. Hundreds of years of experience and so forth. Hip Tran, our founder, Jared Turner, our CEO, has multiple years of experience in this space. Kent Wood, our chief operating officer, Dr. Sean Talbot, the foremost formulator of natural nutrition. I could go on and on and on. Lots of benefits from the corporate staff here at Amare. And that's really important for you and I as we go and build our businesses for the future, that we're going to have, that internal piece taken care of. So super exciting about that. Innovative products that actually are, that work, that are in demand, that are, the highest quality, have the greatest efficacy, are sustainably sourced, all of that. We have a crazy great product catalog already. It's expanding every quarter here at Amare, and all centered around mental wellness, from the whole gut-brain axis thing that says, hey, how you feel is not just in your head, it's also in your gut. Dr. Sean Talbot, I'll introduce you to him in a second. Absolutely done an amazing job on our products. A powerful community of people. We are attracting some of the best and the brightest in the industry today. If you're taking a look and seeing, just, snoop around a little bit and see who's here. We have an incredible group of people that we're building, and we know that it's going to expand 10 and 20 fold from where it is today. But we've got a great group of people here already. It's really a lot of fun, and it's a great reflection of the core values that Amare holds. So
I don't think he's wrong when he says that it's not just a home-based business, but a phone-based business. Let's put the business side apart. But who wants that? You can be on your phone all the time. You can do this from anywhere and everywhere. That is also expected from you. Who wants that? Who wants to have to be on all the time because you have the little device with you and you can recruit and you can sell when you're on your phone, wherever you are. The same is true for regular, reputable jobs. At some point when they started out, when I started my career and I was actually hired by a company and I wasn't an intern and I wasn't a junior, but I had a certain amount of responsibility, I also got a company phone. And yes, that's been ages ago. I feel like a dinosaur saying it, but it has been. And I felt so great. I was like, oh my God, this is so nice. I got a phone. I didn't even have a smartphone, an actual smartphone before that. And my work phone was my first real smartphone. And we were also allowed to use this for personal use, which was really nice. So I was able to save money on the phone bill. But in the end, what that also meant is that you had to set certain boundaries, that people within the company wouldn't message you after work hours, when you were on vacation, or on the weekend. So who wants that? Who wants to be on their phone all the time? Who wants to do business from their phone all the time? It sounds rather dangerous because it means that you will very likely check in a lot more than you would in a regular job. So just be mindful about that. It is good to set boundaries and to not work from your phone all the time. And then he also praises the product palette with the innovative products. These innovative products, who buys these? Is it really retail customers, or is it rather your own distributors? I would argue it is your own distributors, because I do take a look at a lot of content online. I'm always on the lookout for new content to react to. And the distributors, they buy so much of these products beyond the Happy Juice. That is kind of a staple, but they have so much product at home. It is typical for MLMs. If you're the distributor, you're also the best customer. That assign so much goodness to them because there are hardly any actual retail customer reports. Most people in MLMs that buy the products are the distributors themselves. They're kind of the built-in audience, and that is also why the products don't have to be amazing. You just need products. They don't have to be awesome.
And then we're the one and only. mental wellness company. I think that gives us a distinct advantage in a very crowded nutritional conversation in the world to be able to come at it from a mental wellness angle and support answers from a scientific perspective, how we help people feel better. And all of that happens because Dr. Sean Talbot is a genius. Well, let's just do it this way. He's probably the foremost formulator of natural nutritional products in the industry today. It's really hard to argue his success over the last couple of decades, 20, 25 years now. He's an accomplished author. He's a world-class athlete, triathlete guy. His latest book, The Mental Fitness, the GBX Lifestyle, the Gut-Brain Axis, talks about how the two communicate with one another. The first brain and the second brain, they call the gut, and then how you can create products that actually affect the gut bacteria that give off neurotransmitters that make us feel in a different way. It's fascinating and it works like crazy. We see it all the time. If anybody's on Happy Juice, you know exactly what that is. It's a delicious, I left it in the kitchen, but it's a delicious drink that you have every day, but that's the delivery mechanism of the probiotics, prebiotics, and phytobiotics that actually grow bacteria in the gut that give off neurotransmitters like serotonin, dopamine, GABA, that make us feel the way that we feel and energized and focused. It's amazing. And all of our products are designed in that same sort of fashion without overlapping or jumping on top of one another. They have a real synergy to them, an opportunity to work together for better mood and metabolism and motivation and sleep and energy and hormone balance, gut health. You can sort of read it on the screen here. All of that creating from the packages that we offer at Amare, a fulfillment of a desire from a marketing perspective of an audience that's in need of the products that we have. And we have the opportunity to be able to offer it. And, you know, Sales 101 tells me this, that if you just go find a need and fill it, you should win. You should be able to win that equation if, in fact, you provide something that helps someone who is in need. And that's what we have the ability to do. And from that, it creates an opportunity to fulfill some extra income, some financial wellness, whatever that might mean, time freedom, those kind of things.
I've mentioned Happy Juice before. If you are watching anti-MLM content, you know about this. If you're not watching, you might not know. Happy Juice is just a concoction of 3 supplements that specifically the distributors take religiously. There's a lot of stuff in there most people, I would argue, don't even need. All of those biotics, for example, most people do not need prebiotics. There is no need for that. And that is something they're glazing over most of the time. Studies have not shown that prebiotics will actually do anything positive, anything of advantage for you. And then you mix 2 other products with that are really, really pricey. And it is not proven that these products will cure your ailings. It is rather disgusting to see what kind of health claims the distributors, but also Dr. Sean Talbot himself, the creator of these products, will put out what they argue you can cure with. If you're an alcoholic, don't worry. Get some of the products and you will be sober. If you have ADHD, don't worry, take these products. It will be amazing. They also, luckily, of course, have a kids pack, which is just as disgusting, to calm your kids, to allow them to focus if they have any mental or physical issues. This company specifically is so dangerous because the company, the corporate side, as well as the distributors, they will claim what these supplements will do for you, and there is no proof that they will. This is not medication, this is supplements. This is, for the most part, money down the drain. They're pretty much targeting vulnerable people, which is typical for MLMs, and in this case, because they are the mental wellness company, they pretend that they have the solution. The distributors do that for sure if you have mental ailings. Whatever your problem is, we can help you with that. That is why they also have such an array of products. They really have a lot, and the distributors are literally eating it up. So if you're a distributor in Amare, you do not need to shop outside of the company if you have issues sleeping, if you have energy issues, if you cannot think clearly, if you have issues with your digestive system. The company has a product for you. But then he's also talking about financial wellness, about creating an extra income for yourself with this amazing community, with this amazing staff, and with these amazing products. And in MLMs, that is highly unlikely that you join and that you will be able to even make a profit. Most people in MLMs lose money. They won't make money. And the same is true for Amare as well. Their income disclosure statement isn't great either. So I would argue it is rather the opposite. You join, you pay a lot of money, you will have a lot of financial unwellness, and physically and emotionally, you might also get unwell because of the lack of success. Not because the distributors are not putting in enough work. They're on their social media consistently promoting this crap, but because the business model is set up against them. But if you have to join a company, you have to pay to join the company, and then you also purchase the overpriced products regularly, you will end up in debt very quickly. And I would argue that that will take a toll on the majority of distributors.
For people who want to participate with us. And now as we expand around the world under the Amare flag, and in some countries, we still have the Amare name to be able to put out there yet. But in the whole aspect of everything, we can help people feel better, perform better, just experience life at a whole new level from a mental and a physical wellness perspective. And we do it all 100% guaranteed. So that's what we offer. We offer the opportunity to feel better tomorrow than the way that people feel today. Right? And we 100% guaranteed. If they don't, we'll give them their money back. That's the way it works. We find everybody as a potential customer who says, hey, listen, and we are pretty simplistic in our approach that says, just use a promo code, come to the website, use a promo code and get attached to the person who gave you the promo code. Right? That's what we do. And we'll give you $10 off your first order. So it's very much like the way that people operate today in the purchasing environment. It's one of the reasons why 80% of the people coming to Amare are customers of ours, which is incredible. If you ever get involved in any of these things, and the only people that ever get in are distributors, run. If they don't have a customer base, you have no sustainable business, right? If the only people that will ever buy anything are those people that are getting paid because of it, it's just not sustainable, never has been, never will be. That's the way it works. But
true, but ironic. Is Amare really different there? Do they really have that many external customers? I personally doubt that. So let's be very careful with those claims and take them with a grain of salt.
Because we have something that people want to have, and that's the ability to feel better from a natural nutritional perspective, from a mind gut, a gut brain axis connection ability, and providing the tools to be able to allow people to have that. We have a great opportunity for brand partners. And those are the people that want to make money from gathering customers and a few other brand partners. And that's the only two things that we do, by the way. So we gather customers for Amare and find a couple other people to do the same, right? We can get a promo code of ourselves or for ourselves to be able to offer with customers. And we encourage people to do that. And this is the way it works. And it's just a few people who introduce it to a few people who introduce it to a few people. 6 years ago, there was 4, 5, 6 of us around a table, and we said, hey, do you think anybody else wants to listen? And so we started sharing it with a few people. A few of us turned into a few hundred, then it turned into a few thousand, then tens of thousands, now hundreds of thousands, and soon to be millions. That's how these things grow. And, we've gone from an idea to almost a $200 million company this year. And we've done it because we've created a platform of products, programs, and people.
I like how they arranged the selling and recruitment graphic in a circle and not in a pyramid. Somebody must have thought about that. Somebody actually put effort and thought into this. You're not tricking me, but I like the effort. I really appreciate the effort.
It's almost a $200 million company this year. And we've done it because we've created a platform of products, programs, and people. We've supported it like crazy, still doing it today, availing people of an attraction marketing system that allows you to have a 1, 2, 3, 4-step process of introducing and sharing with someone new what Amare is all about. And if you're wondering what you would do if you came here to earn an income, is that we're going to teach you and encourage you to share with people what Amare provides, and then deal with those people who want to be dealt with. We're going to give you the tools that you need. There's a personal assistant that operates obviously out of your phone. It's called Amare Builder, and allows you to be able to share the information and not have to become an expert, and to be able to share Dr. Sean's videos and other videos that we have to be able to do the things that we do here at Amare. It's really super cool. And we remind everybody that this is a pretty simple structure to take advantage of. Just use the system. USE stands for use the products, right? Share your story, share your results, right, with others who would want to do the same, and then enroll others to evaluate what it is that we do and what we provide for themselves. Because it's all fine and dandy what happens to you, but the reality is the only thing that really matters is what happens to them. It doesn't really matter what happens to me, right? I can maybe grab your attention if I tell you, a cool story, but at the end of the day, it matters that this works for you. And it matters that it works for others. So I know this, there are people out there praying for us to come into their life with this message, with these products, and the way that they are working for people is so significant. It's exciting. It's a trend that is so much bigger than just Amare. The overall mental wellness trend, the gut health concept of saying, listen, our food doesn't provide the nutrients that we need. Mental wellness, there's stress among us. There's just, all kinds of issues that are going on. Inflation is crazy. So there's all kinds of economic issues that we can help, provide some solutions to. And we're super excited about being able to do that. And
all of these people sharing and all of the people in the company sharing and advising the products and sharing and advising on the business opportunity are not experts. Let's not forget this. And I would argue to promote this to a friend and to speak about your journey and to invite this friend and the other friend and this customer and that customer, and they will all arrange in a circle then, according to Amare. That is something that I find very dangerous. Mental wellness, mental health should be taken seriously, and it shouldn't be placed in the hands of random people who have no clue, who have no idea. If people have actual mental wellness issues, that should be taken seriously and it should be discussed with a medical professional. Taking supplements from Amare, in my opinion, is not taking mental wellness seriously. It's a money grab, and he said it, it's a trend. They jumped on the trendy train, and that's all this is. And it's dangerous.
Anytime that we transition into, hey, what can I make here? Right? Because I told you what we are and what we would do. We'd go find some people to look at this. And then the question everybody says is, hey, what can I make here? And that's our compensation structure. And we just know this. We know that money in the hands of good people can do great things. We would love everybody to come in and make a whole bunch of money. But here's the reality. Some people will come in and think it's a lottery ticket, and it's not. There's going to work, effort, energy, learning, right? Leaning in, going through a learning curve, doing the things that you need to do. And it's not going to be laid down easy. It never is. If it was laid down easy, it'd be done already. There'd be no opportunity for anybody. So it's just tough enough. It'll weed out people that don't want it, so that there's more available for those who do. But if you're willing to put your time, effort, energy into this and learn and go through the curve with us, then there can be some opportunity here, maybe beyond anything you've ever possibly imagined. I know that that's my personal story, and I'm excited about the platform that Amare provides to all of us to be able to say, here's what is available in a compensation reward structure that is fair, balanced, complete, and yet dynamic enough to get even the most, excitable person excited. And that's where we are. If somebody said, what kind of compensation does Amare have? I'd say it's probably a hybrid of a number of different things. Some people will say we've got 8 different ways to get paid. Some people will say we've got 38 different ways to get paid. Somewhere in between there. Let me see if I can just highlight a couple things for you. Okay. And start you with this.
He said, it's not easy. I will be the first one to tell you this. But then goes on to misrepresent why it is hard to be successful in an MLM. The points he mentioned here are bogus for the most part. Number 1, if you don't reach out to people, you will not make money. Yes, that is true. So you will have to do something. You will have to put yourself out there on social media or in person. If you don't share that you're a part of Amare, if you don't share that you have products you allegedly love so much, you will not have the opportunity to make money, to make a commission, and to recruit. That is true. He has 33 years experience in multi-level marketing companies, but most people simply don't have the luxury to do so because they're not financially successful, No matter how hard they try, no matter how much work they put into this, no matter how many hours they spend, no matter how many people they approach with the opportunity. It is a very luxurious situation to join a company like Amare in the beginning with experience in the multi-level marketing world than to join before the launch and then to be able to potentially recruit teams you had before into the new MLM. The MLM blows up to a certain degree so that even years down the line, you're at the top of the compensation plan and you're still able to make a good amount of money. That is a very luxurious situation that most people don't have. Most people do not have the ability to pump money into a system that, mathematically speaking, will not reward the majority of them. Not because they're not putting enough work in, not because they're lazy. It is because of a business structure that is simply not built for the majority of people to financially succeed. Because if that was the case, then the system would crumble. It is hard to be in an MLM because you have to consistently work. You do not have time freedom. You have a lot of expenses because you have to buy the products as you go along, either because the compensation plan demands it, or you need to purchase the products to show what they do to you, and you're consistently in a rat race. You have to do the same things over and over again. Sell, recruit, get new customers, re-recruit people that have left already, and try to replenish the people that joined your team but left. Because there is a high fluctuation in MLMs, because the system model is not set up for the majority of people to be successful. And lots of people will join and leave again when they realize that. It is expensive to join Amare. Let's just take the Happy Juice as an example. If you purchase the Happy Juice, you will have to spend around $160 per month. If you're not able to recoup that, if you're not able to sell enough product to get commission, if you're not able to recruit enough people and then profit off of those bonuses, you will lose money very quickly from just this one flagship product, at least according to Amare. And then in addition to that, isn't it also sketchy that there are interpretations about how many ways you can make money? Shouldn't that be very clear? Well, I'm saying you can make money in Amare 8 ways. People say 37 ways. Others say 103 ways. Isn't that weird? If I sign a contract for a job, I know how I make money. If I sign up for a sales job, I also know that. There is no room for interpretation. But here's my interpretation. You make money in Amare 2 ways. You sell and you recruit. You're welcome.
This is the main method of operation, building block, if you will. We call it Focus on 5. We encourage everybody who comes into Amare to think about one thing, going and finding 5 other people who want to experience Amare products and the program that we offer. All right. So either as a customer or a brand partner, any combination of 5 in a calendar month, we're going to make sure that you earn $500 from that. Right? Called Focus on 5. Calendar month, 5 people come in, buy one of our packages with at least, 100, what we call PV, which is one of the packages. You're about $130 to $150, depending on what the package is. But life-changing product results. I mean, it's been remarkable. If not, we give you your money back. But if you could do that, then through a couple of different components that you'll start to learn on our comp plan, you can earn $500 in total. Now, here's why this is important. Because if you'll do it, and there's an amazing amount of people who won't, but if you would do it and teach it, those are the mechanisms that allow you to build to any height that you want to build to. There's really no limits except for your own creative thinking about how often you could do that. I think about it all the time. How many times am I going to be able to do this? How many times am I going to be able to share this and start it and do those things? And I also think about, why don't other people do this? It's just a crazy thing. So anyway, let me see if I could share this little thing here with you. Think about this. If you could get some people going, who got some people going, and everybody's working together and focusing on 5, and it never grows perfectly. It never happens that way. But a few people get a few more and so forth. And all of a sudden you can start to envision and imagine a team growing and building and leading and working together to make a difference in the world. That's what Amare is doing today. And this is the opportunity that every single person has to be able to create that. And while we have early stepping stones and handholds for those people who reach different levels, none of these incomes are guaranteed. They're just available to people that want to go and work and do the things that it takes to make that happen. So you get to decide whether that happens for you or not. We've got some very generous advancements of rank incomes that are created from the different stops that people make on their way up the ladder of success that are very impressive and exciting. We have revenue sharing bonus pools that allow you to participate in the overall success of the company. And these can become very exciting, very lucrative, and so forth for those people who want to go get it. I'm going to point you to this, however, because whenever you talk about money, whenever I've had the open and honest discussion around money, I've always encouraged people to say, listen, the average person who comes into these programs quits. They don't make any money. If you're going to come in here and be average and quit, then I would suggest don't come in. Just become a customer. You'll love the products. That'll be awesome, right? So what we want to do is we want to go and we want to build, we want to grow, we want to be above average, we want to do all those things. You want to tie into your leadership, you want to do that kind of thing. And this mechanism is the best I've ever seen in my 30 years of business experience to be able to allow an average, everyday, ordinary person the opportunity to do something really special. And if you look at our income disclosure statement, you'll see what people are doing, what's happening, and so forth and so on. But that's for other people. The real trick is, what are you going to do about this? Like, what will you do to make this happen for you? I would just strongly suggest this. We don't have enough time for me to tell you all the great things about them.
He spoke about teaching what Amare is. This is recruitment. That's how you make the vast majority of money in MLMs. Join the company, you try to recruit others, and that's how you get the biggest bonus payments. You get a small commission of the products you sell, but that is MLM for recruit. You teach others. You build a team in a weird circle. All that means is recruit. Recruit people and don't stop doing that, ever. He even admitted to that. That is what he's thinking about a lot of the time. He said, yeah, I'm thinking about this. Why are other people not doing this with me? It's not about the other people, though. It's about you. You need to recruit people to be able to make a profit in an MLM. Most people cannot live off of the small commission they make when they join an MLM because of the sales they actually make. All of this life-changing stuff people are talking about, all of the car programs, all of the trips. You will not be able to participate in these if you're not able to recruit people. Most trips, all of the car programs very likely, are always connected to you rising in the ranks. And how do you rise in the ranks in MLMs? You need to recruit. That's the basis of this business. He mentioned the income disclosure statement, which is important, also from a legal side, from a compliance side, but it was a weird presentation of that. Well, this is the income statement. Some people join and then they don't do anything and then they leave again. That's why a lot of people also don't make money. But that's them. And you do you. When in reality, an income disclosure statement is a good representation of what most people can achieve in the MLM, sometimes also divided up by the individual ranks. That is very important and very valuable information. What is likely, how likely it is that you will be able to make a profit, and how likely it is that you will be able to rise in the ranks in this specific multi-level marketing company. So let's not talk about the likely average people make in Amare. That's for others. That's not for you. This is the income disclosure statement, but let me talk about something else now, the bonus payments you will very likely not reach. The income disclosure statement is important for what the majority of people will be able to make in the MLM. He's glazing over this, but I'm not. So let's take a quick look at the income disclosure statement from Amare. This is the most up-to-date income disclosure statement available online. On average, income for all active members, which includes the ranks of brand partner through Presidential Diamond, was $71.47 monthly. The definition of active or an active member is one that has purchased at least one product in the last 12 months. The average income for all qualifying members, which includes the ranks of brand partner through Presidential Diamond, was $538.61 monthly. A qualifying member is a member who has at least 100 personal volume generated by sales to customer and personal orders in a given month, which qualifies them to earn compensation. So that's how they distinguish between the active and the qualifying members. If you purchased one product within a year, you're considered active. That doesn't mean that you need to actively run your business. It could be that you just joined because you want the products for less. And the people that are considered qualifying members are those that were either able to order themselves in a certain month and were able to generate 100 personal volume, or were able to sell that to customers or recruits. $538 on a monthly basis doesn't sound horrible, but let's not forget this is the average for all people within the company. So if you make $5,000 or $6,000 in a year, that sounds great. Let's not forget you will have to put a lot of effort into this. You will have to reach out to a lot of people. You will have to sell a lot of product. You will have to recruit a good amount of people to even make that happen. And this also calculates in the people at the very, very top that are able to make the most money. You will have to spend a lot of time and a lot of effort and a lot of money yourself when you purchase the product, because that number is before expenses and that is also before taxes. If you attend one of the conferences, for example, that's also not calculated in there. If you have additional expenses, if you're able to qualify for some of the trips, you will also have to pay that out of your own pocket. So if you take a closer look at these numbers, it doesn't sound that great. And if we take a look at the individual ranks, most people are at the brand partner rank with 86.35%, and they have a monthly compensation of $25.04. These people have already lost money. Brand builder with 215% is the second strongest group with a monthly average compensation of $317.12. Bronze is 1.49% with a monthly of $563.87. And then all of that goes up. And the numbers are shrinking and shrinking and shrinking up until Presidential Diamond, where less than 0.01% are at that rank. And we're not even disclosing how much money they make. That's great. As is typical in good old MLM fashion, it is important to take a look at the income disclosure statement and not just to glaze over that. So let's continue with a masterclass that masters to disguise itself, because it's actually an opportunity call, in my opinion.
We highlight a lot of them, or we fly by for the most part, a lot of them, and don't spend very much time on any of them. But there's a lot more here, and it would serve you well to be able to go and dig deeper with the person that asked you to be here. One of the things that's coming up, I wanted to put this up, is the Path to Paradise trip incentive that is happening in November. We go somewhere every year and we earn trip points for customers and partners and building teams and things like that. This year, we're going to have a record number of people on vacation with us down in Mexico, where the company pays for it. Everybody participates to try to be able to earn the trip and the incentive and stuff, and you create relationships, and it's an amazing time. And many people come into this business just for the travel aspect of it. And if that's you, then you're going to absolutely love Amare, because we do this kind of thing really right. It's really cool, and it should be exciting and a lot of fun. So how do you get started? Let me wrap this up. I got to get going. All right. And so do you. So how do you get started? You become a brand partner. You decide, talk to the person who got you here, answer any questions, and then get started as a brand partner. We have different ways for you to get started. We have a good, better, and best. Let me highlight something for you real quick. This best package is called our wellness pack. It gives you the most for the dollar cost to come in. It gives you some trip incentive points that you're going to love to have get started towards that trip I just mentioned. We do give you a 25%, what we call a subscribe and save rewards program that gives you a quarter out of every dollar that you spend that you can redeem for product. And you pay a little bit of a redemption fee and then shipping, like for $11 or something. And you can get some great deals on additional products if you want to try them, right? That kind of thing. We know this. It would normally take you 13 months to get there. Instead, we just give it to you right off the bat. If you get the largest pack, you'll see that it's a benefit. We do know this too. that people that come in with a little bit more commitment do a little bit more. So I strongly suggest, that's how I came in. I told everybody for 8 years or 6 years, this is how I would come in if I were you. But here's the great thing that we decided right from the beginning. We do not force it. We don't really care.
You come in the way you decide you want to, but we're still going to push for the biggest package, the most pricey one, the one that is worth the most, with the best package, the wellness pack. Yeah, of course, people will push for that because their commission is greater. That is typical as well. If you're able to sell somebody on a bigger, more pricier product pack for starters, then you as the person enrolling that individual will also make more money. You will also make more commission. Come on. And is it really about the person you sign up, or is it about the person signing the other person up? It's about making money. It's about making a commission. It's about bonus payments. So it is rather about the person enrolling rather than about the person that is being enrolled. And if your incentive is to get more commission, if you sell people on a bigger, more pricier starter pack, then you will not choose the good one or the better one, but you will push for the best. But we're not forcing you, but this is the best one because it will set you up for success and you will be able to show me that you really want this. And you already get travel points. That on a side note, please do not join an MLM because you want to travel. You are very likely going to be able to afford way better trips if you just save the money and then go on the trips yourself. It will save you a lot of time, a lot of money, and a lot of hassle.
At the end of the day, you decide to come in the way that you want to. All right. If 750 is not doable, then how about a little less, or how about a little less? Or how about just becoming a customer and trying the products? It's up to you. Not really interested in your money. We're interested in your effort. We're interested in results. We're interested in getting you associated with Amare so excitedly. And
you're not interested in their money? Of course you are. This is a business and this is a master class, but in reality, it is a business call. It's an opportunity call. It is about the money. Come on, stop it.
And beneficially, that you would scream it at the mouth, at the rooftops for other people to join us. And the reason that you want to do it now, let me finish with this. The reason that you want to do it now is because there is a growth chart. 4 areas of corporate growth that you could apply to virtually any company anywhere in the world, no matter where they before, after, during, or after. These are the 4 stages of corporate growth that every company goes through: startup, growth, hyper growth, and then legacy. And when it starts to go into the hyper growth mode, you have to start it up. You got an idea and you got to prove it in the marketplace. But at some point, if you prove it enough, you're going to hit a critical mass perspective. That's when everybody needs to get in. That's where the growth curve takes off. That's where you want to be. We've talked about it since the day we launched it. I put this particular chart out the day that we were right back here, day 1. Well, here we are today. In my opinion, 2022, 2023, end of 22 and now into 23 will be the year that we hit critical mass. Oftentimes hard to tell while you're in it or at the beginning of it, but when you look back, you'll be like, oh, that's where it started. And what happens there, again, from my opinion, is that we have a chance now over the next 3, 5, 7, 10 years, even because of the size of the industry, to go on this massive run of being able to have multi-billion-dollar status. And the lives that we will touch over that time frame is absolutely remarkable. And we've got a chance to do something very unique together. So if you've ever, and then, the legacy of that plays out. But this particular time, during this hyper growth time, man, this is the time where every entrepreneur dreams of being in some form or fashion, in something that they believe in and something that they know about. Because oftentimes you don't know about these things until they've passed, until it's up here where, the people that who did the best probably came in during this time. Well, we just are hitting this. Again, 3, 5, 7, 10 years from now, it's going to be amazing. I'm just convinced of it. I hope you see a little bit of it. Ask questions, however you need to get them answered. We'll help you out in any way, shape, or form.
This was the presentation. He's just finishing the call saying, if you're interested, please reach out. We would love to help you. Reach out to the person who recruited you. I'm not going to expose us to that. It's just your typical blah, blah. It is a recurring call. The person does this every single week on a Monday. It's always the same spiel. But let's talk about this amazing chart, this opportunity chart. Are we surprised that we're now at the critical mass tipping point right before everybody wants in, because now is the perfect time for you to join? According to him, Amare is not a startup company anymore. It has experienced some growth. It is now right on the tipping point of becoming a hyper-growth company with momentum and explosive growth. And it only happens once. And then it will turn into legacy growth with stability and legacy. Every opportunity call, every person trying to recruit you will try to convince you that now is the best time to join. Granted, there's a little bit more information than is on most of these charts. Now we're in the 4 to 10 year realm. That is where he says you will be really, really successful. I'd be interested to see if the data of the number changes over time, if we are beyond this critical time, if we are beyond this critical mass point. It's a very generous time to say, hey, now between 4 and 10 years, we're able to really, really make it happen. That is up to debate. That is up to definition, up to interpretation. I would be interested to see if this chart will change over time. I suspect it will. I would say never is the best time to join an MLM. And also let's talk about this startup growth, hyper growth. This is a multi-level marketing company. It's a recruitment-based company. And that is why you cannot compare MLMs to actual startups. Corporate side of the company might be a startup, but the MLM business never really is. So let's not compare actual retail-based businesses to multi-level marketing companies that are recruitment-based. It's a different story. The sooner you get in, the earlier you get in, the better. The later you join in an MLM, the harder it will be for you to be successful, unless you already were in a company and you had a big enough team and you're able to switch from one MLM to another, or unless you have a big following on social media, then it will be more easy. Not easy, but easier. I love those alleged growth charts. He said it was just his opinion, and that's really all this is. Please don't fall for crap like this. Now always has to be the best time to join in any MLM, every MLM, anytime, every time, any distributor, every distributor will always tell you the same stuff. Because it is not about you, it is not about your growth, it is about them making money. MLMs are businesses. People are in there because they want to make money. It's okay if you want to make money, but it is sad that people have to disguise this. This was the Amare Masterclass. It's not a masterclass. There was nothing to master. It was really just an opportunity call, and it is a recurring call that doesn't really change over time. But I thought it would be interesting to take a look at the presentation that is being presented to potentials regularly. So if you ever see an Amare Masterclass, please don't fall for that. You were not invited because somebody thought highly of you or loved you. Somebody wanted to make money of you. In my opinion, Amare is a horrific company, a horrific MLM, because they're using this mental wellness slogan, and they and their distributors, they really make some of the most outrageous claims. And I will be filming also another Amare call, a leadership check-in, which I find very interesting because to me, it exposes the dangers and the nastiness that Amare puts out. This very friendly mental wellness, we want to help you facade, but what is really going on is very, very dangerous. So it might surprise you, but it's a no for me, Amare. Don't join an MLM. Just my opinion, putting it out there. You do with that what you want. Please stay tuned. In one of the upcoming videos, I will be covering the leadership check-in. It is interesting, to say the least. If you're interested in these types of videos, then please consider subscribing. If you like this specific one, give it a thumbs up. If you would like to let me know something, feel free to do so in the comment section down below. You can also contact me on Instagram. If you have screen recordings of content from Amare or other companies and you would like to share them with me, then feel free to share this with my email. It is also linked down below. And if you like these types of videos, then hopefully I will see you in my next one. Until then, cheers!